but we're here to talk about something that does affect us globally. You know what I'm saying? So I love that everyone's here. Once again, thank you guys for coming. So if you guys see us on the screen here, just a little bit of our agenda, just a little bit of a rundown, what's going to go down. Again, hopefully once everyone is comfortable, everyone's in a space where they feel open and ready to hear about what we got going on. We thank you guys for even joining us on this wonderful afternoon/evening. I say that because there's a coastal time difference here, right? But we're going to talk to you about this. So this is our agenda, just kind of some of the things, why it's STEAM and why we STEAM the streets versus STEM, kind of what is it we've been doing, the challenge, kind of what the numbers and the statistics stays out there, kind of what it is that we've actually created. And then how is it that we can use this as a community to uplift our young folks to seize these opportunities, and then kind of, the kind of next step. So we're going to show you some videos. We're going to show you some testimony. We're going to do a little talking. We're going to kind of vibe and chill here for a while and build with each other. It's all about building community. And again, thank you guys for being here, because this is about a global issue that needs some addressing, and that's why we're here. So so shout outs to the people who make things happen for us, right? We would be lying if we said this. For those of us who do know, Ben and I, we've been partners for a long time, but it's so much more than just the two of us, right? We have a pretty good team, and we also have some people who's holding us down here and making donations. So shout outs to all of our funders. We got to do the logistical things when you do a show. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We got to thank all our people before we get into it, right? So who are we? Again, my name is Dijon Kelly, also known as Angel Diaz. I would like to say that I am an edutainer. When people ask me what is it that I do for a living, and that is infusing education with entertainment. And my regular 9 to 5 is I'm currently a middle school teacher at an all-girls school here in New Bedford, where I teach STEAM, I teach music, teach fitness, I teach a variety of things there, as well as being a professional DJ, music producer, singer-songwriter, band. I do too many good things, you know what I'm saying? Father, community activist, you name it, man, educator, just the social warrior fighting the good fight. But at the end of the day, I'm an edutainer, and someone who helped me onto that path, when I was just a wee bit youngin', was my partner right here, man. This dude right here was a mentor of mine when I was a youngin', got me into the world of actually hip hop DJing, that kind of good stuff. And we parted ways, and we came back to each other and was like, yo, there is this issue that the world needs to hear about. And we took our combined years of experience, and we was like, yo, let's get on this movement. So I can't do this without my partner in crime. So I'll let you tell him about what is it that he does and who is he and where he represents. So tag partner, you it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Ben Gilbart. I am a creative catalyst, meaning I use a lot of creative means to make an impact. I'm a producer, director, youth developer. I have experience at the high school and community college level in terms of being an educator. And I've had 25 years experience at this interesting crossroads of all of these things. So I'm going to take you from here. It's good to be with y'all. I'm going to take you from here into, STEM versus STEAM really quick. Why STEAM, right? Everyone knows STEM. But, STEAM the streets, we utilize the arts. The arts is a big piece. Music, video, design, murals. We employ the arts to communicate the message and engage people in that message. It's also intersectional, right? There's creativity in all careers. So people think of a scientist or a mathematician in one light, but there's a lot of creativity that goes into a lot of these careers that you don't think of creative: engineering, design, etc. We like to say there's art jobs at math companies and there's math jobs at art companies, right? So it's also the human touch that impacts everything, right? We try to humanize careers and bring that humanity with everything we do. And the A for us is also for access, making it accessible, right? That's what this is about for us, is equitable access to opportunities. So our mission is to inform, inspire, and activate underserved youth to pursue in-demand career paths. We've been at it since 2016. We recently released an app, but for those who know, we are much more than an app. A little bit about our work: we produce and design content that meets the audience where they're at. We make connections and translate opportunities that sometimes might seem like computational science. What's that? Photonics and laser technology. What's that? We have that ability to kind of break things down, make it relatable, make it approachable. And then finally, we teach, we motivate, we make concepts relatable. So we're going to show you some videos today because video is one of our things, one of our jams, right? And the first video is a quick montage of a few of the things we do. So we're going to get into the app, we're going to get into the content, but this is some other things we do as well.
To stop. You need an x-ray to see broken arms. How you think food travels across those states? Bridges and truck keep all that safe. Use a sharpener when your pencil breaks. Keep your valuables in a fire safe. With a super soaker, you can be a water gun shooter. 1 gig processor chip in your computer. Every time you Xbox or PS4, no, Jerry Lawson made the first console. In your home and you gotta put in a capture code so a virus won't eat your computer whole. Yeah, they made that. Yup, Brown made that. Brown brought it to you like UPS. While others complain, they move you stress. Got the con cuantas no casa ratones. You couldn't do much without Latinx. Hey. Nah, you couldn't do much. Sometimes you gotta roll your sleeves up. Orale, hey. Without the man again. A Puerto Rican.
Oh, it's my jam.
We give our students a show, you know, with some performances, music video, interactive slides. You know, we get the energy rocking, get them up, get them awake, and get them thinking that, wow, I can be a scientist? I'm really good at math. There's a spot for me in this world. I like food. This guy just told me I could be a food scientist? What?
You can become a food scientist. Hold on, what? Oh, what you saying? I can be a food scientist? Yes, because I can't tell y'all, yo, there's so many options out there.
This is the reaction that we want from our youth.
Oh, that's such my jam right there. Nada. I'm telling you, man, when we take this work outside of, we go to schools and whatnot, we show this and people are like, oh man, that's so cool. And I can see people about Latinx, brown folks, you know what I'm saying? We see women and, this is the challenge, right? So what we're going to show you right now is that what we were doing, we were going from school to school here in our local backyard and realizing that more people need access to this information that we were giving them. So we created an app. So we figured like there's so much of a bigger problem. So again, because we're a media firm, an education media firm, we decided to show you what the problem is. So we're going to let this video rock and explain to you exactly what it is we did. Why is it that we did what we did? So let's get it.
There's a problem that we can all help fix that will improve the lives of our people and put money back into the economy. There's not enough qualified people to fill the millions of jobs in STEM and the arts, and people are getting left behind, especially our youth. Millions of high school students are underconnected. They are not prepared nor on track to fill these roles. Many aren't even aware of what careers exist. And with technology expanding at a crazy pace, careers are evolving so quickly that the average adult doesn't know, let alone teenagers. So co-founders Angel Diaz and Ben Gilbard focused on creating a virtual solution during the pandemic and are using their combined 40 years of experience in education, youth development, and media production to help build a bridge to get youth connected to these careers. This is the launching point of a 10-year vision to help plug 1.5 million youth into the STEAM career pipelines through this platform.
See, I was never exposed to this information as a teenager, which ended up causing me to drop out of high school. Now, that means I had to take the longer route. I wish it was faster, but I got there. And now I'm a STEAM teacher, I'm a performer, and I'm a youth motivator. And all that I'm trying to do is get this information to these young folks that I wish I heard when I was a teenager.
Most people end up becoming what they know. If their parent, friend, family member was an engineer or designer, they're more likely to be that because they see it. But what about all the youth who haven't had that type of exposure? Let's make relevant career exposure the norm instead of the exception. Make it real, make it interesting, make it exciting. That's what we've been doing for years in schools and in the community. Now we're bringing that to scale through this powerful platform.
The first version of the app focuses on exposure to in-demand careers. We have to show youth because if they can see it, they can be it. Through culturally relevant media, storytelling, and a carefully curated user experience, youth can take a self-guided journey through the app. Users will engage with a career modules or challenges that include 2 video lessons. The first is a career profile of a BIPOC person in a STEAM profession, a relatable story that puts a face to the career.
My path at this point is to get more people that look like me, women and people of color, into this space. There are jobs in this space. They pay well.
The second video lesson, entitled Bridge Lessons, is where we take a deeper dive into each career, teaching about the opportunities, real-world examples, and the skill it takes to get into that field.
There are over 2 billion websites and 4 million mobile apps, and all of them need UI design. That's user interface design. A UI designer makes it aesthetically dope. They take care of everything from the color, the style, the buttons, you name it.
Students are then asked to reflect upon their experience and are rewarded with points. This places them in a national competition for rewards, prizes, and tools to advance their career journey. Once students complete a challenge, they unlock the first free steps, where they can act on their inspiration and try out free curated resources within the app. The pilot phase is the foundation and critical to closing the opportunity gap. Feedback and data gathered through users' journey through the app will help inform the next phase, which will include mentor matching as we continue to build the bridge to give our people a fighting chance. If we don't invest in connecting students to careers at an earlier age, then we'll continue to have the same problem. A workforce that is ill-prepared to seize the millions of opportunities in STEAM. It's gonna take all of us. We need to be the connecting cable so we can strengthen this bridge and prevent the loss of opportunities for our communities. Join us in the mission of empowering our youth to be the next innovators, engineers, designers, scientists, and change makers. And here's a few ways you can help. If you're an educator, invest a half hour with your students getting them started in the app. If you're a parent or guardian, download the app and help get your kids exposed to the possibilities of careers in STEAM. And if you work in the industry, contact us. We'd love to build with you. So it's time to do our part. Download the app today. There's a problem that
moved every time I hear that. And I was like, yes, the guy who did the music for that band, our composer, oh man, he does it for me every time, right? So again, the numbers don't lie. So let's play a little guessing game right here. This is where you go and get ready to enter something in the chat now. You know, this is one of those things. All right, so here I want to know, what do you think? How many millions of jobs are in STEAM currently unfulfilled? Now, if you've paying attention to the video, you've been paying attention to the presentation, you might have that number. But I also want to know, how many billions of dollars are we not making? So that's question number 2. And then question number 3 is like, most of these jobs make an average salary of, I don't know. So drop it in the chat if you think you got a clue. I'm going to show you, but like, how many millions of jobs are going unfulfilled? Like currently, right now. Okay. We got our first answer, 2.5 million jobs. That's a good number right there. All right, Patrice is on it, you know what I'm saying? I'll see, okay, all right. How many billions of dollars? Oh, $2.8 billion, all right, $100,000. All right, we got some, you know, decent answers. 2 million jobs, yeah, this. All right, well, we know it's 1 million of jobs at least, right? We got at least 1 mil there. So, all right, Ben, let's see what it is. For the people, boom. $328 billion people are not making because there's currently 4 million jobs currently unfulfilled, averaging around $100,000 a year. So you mean to tell me there's like 4 million jobs like open out there in the STEAM field that averaging around $100,000, and all these jobs are generating $328 billion that we're not putting back into our global economy because no one's making the money, no one's spending the money, then the cycle doesn't continue to happen, right? So $328 billion not going back into our economy, damn, that's crazy. But let's talk about like this idea of the equity gap. Do you think it's true or false? You can drop a T or you can drop an F in the chat if you want to, but 69% of people are employed in the STEM field are white. Is it true? Is it true? I don't know. 69% of the people? All right, I'll get some first answers coming in. Yeah, some of y'all are answering right too. I saw you, Herman. I saw you 100,000. I see you on the points right there. You know what I'm saying? Some of those close. False. All right, all right. They think we got more people in there. Oh, some of them are like more than that. True. I don't know. But what the statistics tell me, false. I think it's higher. Yes, you know what? I like to think it's higher too. Exactly why we built this platform, because it is. But this is true. 69% of employees are white. Again, it's a problem, right? It's a problem. Black, brown, women. These are the three, like we, again, this is a global economics, but the people who are being left behind, that everyone's in this diversity, inclusion, and everyone's talking about equity and access and all these things. So let's promote this to those, communities that need it the most. So, just
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank you for being here. Obviously, you see the mission that we're on. We've spent years building what we are presenting to you today. Just in the app alone, it's been 2.5 years, and that doesn't count a lot of the content we've produced over those years that's in the app. So we just want to see it go to good use and get used, right? And so we can get better. So you guys as educators being here is so important. Obviously, we talked about both of us are educators. We understand that connection that an educator can make with a student. And we want to build with you directly because you are the link to these great minds, right? So we're really taking a grassroots approach that we ultimately want to become really big, right? But it starts here. It starts with building allies who have the same goals. So if your goal is seeing students become their best, most informed and inspired self, I think you've come to the right place. And our hope is that you can introduce this app and content to your students and can get back to us with feedback on how it went so we can provide more evidence that it works and ultimately expand the platform.
boom. Ooh, what's this? Oh my God. The two educators who knew nothing about creating an app helped create an app so we can help change the world? Yes, we did. Oh, this is crazy when I think about it, right? And what we do is we do this in a style. So Steam the Streets, again, we are a multi-educational media firm. I don't know, man. We're a thing that does a lot of cool things, right? And we use the mediums of storytelling, right? We use youth culture and the style of production. When we create videos, they're in the style of YouTube and what the kids are normally hip to, the language, the imagery that we show, right? Making those connections. So we built this app. So we're going to show you a couple of videos that come from our app, right? And again, that's what's really our differentiators. People are like, oh, why you guys? Well, we've been in this youth development work for quite a bit of time, and we kind of are also, disclaimer, we're from the hip hop culture. You know anything about hip hop culture, man, it's vibrant. It is beautiful. There's so many facets of it, right? So we infuse those things. But we're going to show you some videos now because, I don't know, people in the room, do you guys know a UI, UX designer? Does anyone know what that is? Nope, I have not. We have one person who doesn't. Someone here, anyone else? Anyone else? No? Well, guess what? You're going to do a little bit of learning. Boom.
We're doing a little survey here.
Boom. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. And again, imagine if we don't know this as adults. Now, mind you, prior to me doing this work, right, I didn't know what a UI, UX was. I was like, oh, this is math terms, right? We got the letters and numbers or whatever the case may be, right? No. So it's not. So we don't know it as adults. Imagine our young folks who never even heard about it, right? So, yeah. So let's do a little bit on. Let me show you how we get down. So this first story is a woman named Morgan Fritz. So again, we show videos where we show two videos. One of the videos is around a person actually in the field. She used to work at Pixar. Kids always get excited about that, like, oh man, Pixar. And then when I tell them, oh, she currently works at Roblox. Roblox is one of the biggest internet games across the world right now, right? And she's one of the UI, UX developers for that game. So kids lose their mind. They're like, what? And then when they see it's a Black woman, they're like, you know what I mean? So it gets a little crazy, right? So that's why we do this work. So it's like representation, but also storytelling. So I'll let you hear Morgan's story and show you what it is that we show our young folks.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fritz. I'm a designer specializing in user interface and user experience. It's kind of a medley of designing the user interface, what it looks like and how it feels to that user. User experience is understanding how someone would want to interact with this thing, right? It's really is listening to a user, and so being able to take what's important to them and design accordingly, because it's not about what you think would look nice as much as how someone else would be able to use this thing that you're creating. Like, I could design a great video game, but if no one knows how to like walk forward in the game, no one will be able to use it, right? Design is a mix of your artistic skills, but also learning how to listen and to ask the right questions. So I grew up in Santa Rosa, California. It's a really strong area for the arts, and so I grew up in fine arts and a lot of painting and drawing. So I drew a lot, and I always carry a sketchbook around. I had a great mural painting job, actually, for a lot of high school. And from there, I just didn't exactly know what I wanted to do as a job, though. I mean, I didn't even know design existed. And I ended up getting a flyer in the mail for this 6-week program. So every week of the program, you would do a different aspect of design: industrial design, communication design, photography, and I loved it. After that program, I enrolled and got into Carnegie Mellon. Started as an industrial designer, which is doing more physical design work, so it could be anything from designing shoes to cars to toaster ovens, you know. While I was in college, I was doing a lot of internships. Started out unpaid, got to paid. I graduated as the first designer to ever get an engineering minor at my university, which is kind of cool. And went on to intern first with Samsung, and that was more of an industrial design mix of UX. And then from there went on to doing more UI UX. I really enjoyed more the thinking aspect of it, right? And so I progressed into UI UX with IBM, and there I was doing more projects, like huge range of projects. It was a really interesting progression because I went from painting and drawing and then realizing I could apply that into this more tech world of using it. One of the biggest things I've learned is to make mistakes, right? Those mistakes are what help you get to where you want to go. I've made designs that are great, but I've also made a lot that are, you know, mediocre at best. And it really does take a lot of those like hundreds of bad drawings to get to that one great one at the end. That those 100 drawings are kind of part of that one final incredible piece because it took them all to get there.
Hear that in high school, you're like, oh, little flyer in the mail, or I can do art and technology. Like, that's just, it's crazy. And what I love about her messaging at the end is like, you know, we have to make mistakes, and all those mistakes lead up to something great, right? So again, just telling real world messaging from people who are directly in the field. And then the second video, so, you know, they watch that video, they answer some questions, get some points for answering that, right? And the second video is now we break it down for them, right? So you just heard Morgan's story and how what she's done in the field, but you still might be like, I don't know, what does it actually mean? What does it actually do? Well, then I come through, me and my production team, you know what I mean? We come through and we place a little video so you can see what that looks like. So you want to know what UI, UX plays out in the real world and how is it applicable and some of the skills that you can use to get there to like pursue these career fields with some cool animations and music and graphics and all that other kind of stuff. Let it roll, son. Let it roll.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And if it's your first time tuning in, welcome to episode 2. My name is Dijon Helly. I represent Steam the Streets, and I'm here getting you connected with all the career options available. Because you know what? This could be you. So today we're digging a little bit deeper into the world of design. And design is everywhere. Even if I just start looking at what's in front of me, right? My turntables designed. My headphones designed. My computer is designed. The set that I'm on, designed. And because design plays such an important part of our lives, there's a lot of opportunities for creative people like yourselves to go out there and get them. There are over 2 billion websites and 4 million mobile apps, and all of them need UI design. That's user interface design. A UI designer makes it aesthetically dope. They take care of everything from the color, the style, the buttons, you name it. UX designers deal with how users experience a website or an app. And it's one of the most in-demand type of designers, where a UX designer starting off might be averaging around $96,000 a year. That's a lot of money. And companies invest in UX designers because they can bring a lot of value to the table. Because if something goes wrong with how a person is experiencing their website or the app, it can cause their business to essentially fail. So that's why UX designers are really important. And in order to get there, you got to put yourself out there. As much as we can do behind our computer, we still got to go outside. We still got to go seize the day. So let's go explore the world of design a little bit more. Let's go steam the streets. Come on. Even this car I'm in was designed by UI UX designers. This is the UI. This is where I'm able to access all the controls. This is where I'm able to bump my music. And there was a team hired specifically just to create this part of the car. And the UX is how it all works together for the user. The buttons are easily accessible. The controls and the placements, they make sense. And to get to this place, designers had to meet with car drivers. They had to test out a bunch of different ideas. They probably even threw away a few different ideas. And this is the end result. Even when it comes to parking, UI, UX is involved. They're trying to make parking easier for people, right? To pay your parking thing. So I enter this little number over here on my phone, and then I'll put the amount of time going in, and we good. Let's get it. So we're here at People's Press, a women's own fresh juice bar in downtown New Bedford. You're gonna see the user design experience in action. The point of sales, or the POS, the user is the employee and the user is also the customer. And it has to be quick and easy, especially when it's fast paced. So how good your UI or UX means that when training employees, it'll be faster, because if it's too hard to understand, then the line starts to form and that's gonna clog your business. So the point of sale system is software engineering mixed with product design, user interface, and user experience design, allowing anyone to have the opportunity to run their sales through this technology. So if you're using one of these systems to run your business, that means you'd be using the same type of software that other businesses use. See, with the right design, you can level the playing field. But I'm about to have this bowl interface and have a great user experience. As you can see, design is everywhere. There are designer jobs behind a lot of the things that we use. In order to be a good designer, you got to build up those power skills. And one of those power skills is critical thinking. And critical thinking is because sometimes when designing, you have to go into deeper thought. You have to really understand why you're making certain design choices, right? And to understand what you're designing for. And another skill you're going to need for design, it's pretty obvious, but creativity. Being creative is one of the major skills that all designers need, because it allows you to use your imagination to come up with ideas and find new solutions to fix problems. All right, so we're here back in the studio after seeing design literally everywhere. It's crazy what you can see and what you do when you step outside, especially when you step outside of your comfort zone. Remember, it's not going to be easy. So if you think a career in design could be part of your story, here's a few things to remember. Number one, you have to do, and do. You just have to start creating. Whether you're drawing, whether you're painting, whether you're using software like Canva to maybe create a flyer for one of your local businesses, or maybe you make an album cover for a friend or one of your favorite bands. And then number two, you just got to get involved, right? So there are plenty of different programs out there for all levels of design, right? And even some after school programs and some college and some online, wherever it's at, get involved, okay? And you're gonna be there with other people who are trying to do the same things while you're upping your skills. And number three, choose a path. There's a lot of colleges that specialize in design, and you could even get your start at a community college if you wanted to. Or if you want to go in the remote world of learning, there's online programs, Coursera, Skillshare, Lynda, that's just to name a few. But you're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to network. And remember, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And steady wins the race. Now look, everything you see around you was created by design. Whether natural, industrial, automotive, there's too many to define because there's endless ways we interact with this world. See, your world is the interface and what you do is the experience. We are capable of design, so we'll hope that you're hearing this because we already make decisions like put this here and that'll work there. What works for mine may not work for theirs. Now that's a skill that could pay if you take the right steps. If you learn UI, if you learn UX. Because when something works and you like it, you keep going back, keep going back. That's how they got us on TikTok, the Gram, and even the Snap. So if design is everywhere, that means it's inside of you. To get paid as a designer, who's to say this can't be you?
In my life. And what's so cool about this, again, that for young folks, again, you see the style in which it's done. You know, we have footage where we're in Providence, we're in Boston, we're in San Francisco, we're in New Bedford, you know what I'm saying? Like we global, you know what I'm saying? We trying to be international. So Cairo, Egypt, we see you, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna get down to it with y'all. But now after seeing these videos, how much more aware are you of a UI UX design career option? So like 1, it's like you're still kind of like, oh, I don't really know. 1, 5 is like, wow, I'm learning. I did some learning right now in these last 2 videos. So drop it in the chat for us. And then we're gonna take you through the app. All right, we got some numbers. All right, cool. All right. I ain't seen no wins yet, so that means people's paying attention at least. I appreciate y'all, you know what I mean? This is, you know, it's always hard to do something through Zoom, man, but y'all are with us, so we appreciate that. And again, if y'all are so much more aware of this, imagine the young folks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because this is the same in the app when that video gets done in the app, because these are both from the UI UX career module in the app. So when they get done watching this video, that's some of the questions that's one of the exact questions we ask, actually. So you're getting that same question a user would get right now.
Sweet.
So
right. Woo, what's this? All right, we're gonna drop in the chat a link to our website, but if you're on multiple devices, that's why we also have this here. So if you're on your little cell phone, you open up your camera app, you scan the screen, and then boop, it takes you to the app store. If you got an iPhone, if you got an Android, we universalists around here. We don't matter. We ain't hating, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's also in the chat, Steven Streets, our homie Kirsten, the person, you know, she's so important, man. You guys will see her, but big thanks, you know what I'm saying? She's an MVP behind the scenes. Y'all don't even know about her. In person. So take out your phone, scan this here for a second, get to the website. We want you to download the app so you can see for yourself, and we're going to give you a few minutes to kind of explore before we come back and we kind of continue to build and show you how you can actually implement this into your classroom, because that's what we're here for. It's like, all right, this is really cool. How can I use this in the classroom? Well, we actually have a game plan for that, and we're going to show you that. So yeah, we're going to let you explore for a second. You're gonna create a user account. Then you're gonna be met with a Steam career match. You're gonna have a series of images. You just kind of tap on one of them, and you know, those images will then give you results. So some of the careers that we have in our module that you could be part of. Yeah, so you know, check that out. Turn me back up. So I like the. Realize that this is a mobile cell phone application. Sometimes there may be limitations to that in the classroom. Don't worry, we got a solution for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, go create an account. Look at this.
turning it down because the music's competing with as we talk, and for some reason. There you go. That's a little low. How do I sound? How do I sound? Mic check, mic check.
I'm all right. I heard myself all right with the music.
All right. So, like Angel said, one thing we want to point out is this is also can be downloaded on iPads, tablets, Chromebooks if you have the Google Play Store. So it can be more than just a mobile device in the classroom. It doesn't have to be the students' mobile devices. If you guys have those tablets, have those Chromebooks with Google Play, you can download them from right there. So it is on iPhone and Android, as well as the Google Play Store. So that should help some folks. All right, we got another minute. Steam the streets, land. Got some beautiful educators in the house. From sea to shining sea.
From coast to coast. I got LA to Massachusetts. Yo, we out here, man. To Cairo to United States. You know what I mean? We out here.
We do.
We know it's never enough time. We get it. It's just to get you download the app. You know what I'm saying? Get you hooked in first. I need to do some further exploration, you know?
If you have any initial observations from looking through the app, feel free to throw them in the chat. Something gets you excited.
All right. Well, thanks for y'all. And again, you guys will have more time with the app. Now you got that thing downloaded on your phone. Now you can mess around with it. But you want to see what it actually does and how it actually impacts some folks.
Let's hear from the students themselves, eh?
Yeah, let's hear.
I liked how the videos were made and how like it showed people like me, and because I never get to see that, but this whole app that's like devoted to that, and I really like that.
I found it exciting to just learn more about different careers that I didn't even know existed.
The first person that I saw, he was building softwares, and I kind of like saw myself doing that. Like I think it would be really cool.
I might want to pursue UI, UX design.
This app, it really shows like people how they struggled instead of just like their good moments and how they got to where they are right at that second. It made me feel like it's okay to struggle and not everybody's perfect.
Like there's not a lot of people of color in the STEAM fields, so we need more of that, and I like how the videos really show their background.
It helped me understand the possibilities and see like how I could pursue different careers.
All right, well, you heard from the students. Now we're gonna actually hear from an educator who has run the educator's kit in her classroom, has introduced the app to her students. Do we have Toby Eugenio, Director of Creativity at our sister school in the house?
You do. Hey, everybody. I'm really glad to be here, and I'm so excited to be able to share and enjoy this process with y'all, because as an educator, we're always looking for ways to make a difference with our students and also bridge those gaps and break down those barriers, you know, particularly when we recognize where they're going in their future, what their next adventure is. And when I found Steam the Streets, one, you can, how many of you out of and you could just think in your own self, like, can you see the relatability for students, right? Right away, I was like, this makes sense. I can see my students finding comfort and connection with this. And then also just careers that you don't know about. And the fact that this is a growing program, you know, it's 2 years old, and I know Ben and Diaz, you're not done, right? This isn't over. This app's going to keep growing, and it's going to keep changing as careers change. And getting in the hands of educators and in the hands of students. What I really loved about using the app in my classroom is that my students can do it in the classroom, and they also can do it beyond my classroom, right? So it's relevant content, it's relatable content. They can talk to their grown-ups about it. They could do it in my classroom, and they can also do it in other spaces. And the reality is they can self-pace. And what I love about the educator pack is I can also pace it with them directly. So I can do direct teacher instruction with students face-to-face. And also they could do the module, the bridge lesson, it's at home. And so for me, I can't wait to keep using it. I've already seen students get excited about different careers. And statistically, in my 30 years of education, I know that when students see connections and they see the possibilities, they have the opportunity to see themselves in those roles. And what I really appreciate about STEAM the Streets is they're telling untold stories, and they're representing humans that have not had space and place. And I think that's a remarkable and really important part of our job. And I am so excited as it continues to grow, and I continue to use it in my own classroom. And I'm super grateful. And I know that STEAM the Street, as you evolve, you're going to keep working to help educators. And so feedback is imperative. Testing it out and getting feedback from your students, yourself, and your colleagues is going to be paramount to continuing to bridge this gap into making that difference and helping others. I could say lots, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Toby. Really appreciate you dropping that testimonial. We're actually gonna keep moving. So as Toby alluded to, we have an educator's kit. This is a do-it-yourself kit. What we realize is that, once again, we're building with educators who are on the ground at a grassroots level, and we need to be able to provide resources for them, for you to implement the app and the content here. So I'm gonna actually do a live click through of our educators kit. This is our website, steamthestreets.org. You scroll down to the video we watched and then to this kit right here. What we have is we have our playbook PDF. I'll get into that in a minute. We have the slide deck lesson. We have a journey through the app video, which is essentially a walkthrough, 2 minutes to get you oriented. And then a survey for educators, because like Toby said, we want to hear from you. So I want to go to our slide deck first and kind of just run through this briefly. We approached why we did this. Let's start with that. We realized that instead of just saying, hey kids, here's an app, download it on your phone, it's going to be the answer to all your problems, we had to give them background context, give them the why, and really set them up for using the app, right? Show them that this content does have value. So in this here slide deck, which is Google Slides, which anybody can use, we have these slides with talking points at the bottom. So essentially press play and you can present this deck, right? So we approached it from a storytelling frame, telling untold stories to help you find your path. What will your story be? So this is starting to engage your students, right? Having them participate. What do you want to do? It's all right if you don't know. We always stress that, like Toby said, what's your next adventure, right? And then we go into the story of opportunity, which we've talked a lot about today. Some of the similar statistics, money being left on the table, right? The jobs that are unfilled because of, why they're unfilled. We have STEM has a branding problem. STEM has an exclusivity problem, right? And so we explore what's possible with them. So essentially this shows them, all right, starting to show them other careers. Here are some other careers. Have you ever heard of these? Have you ever heard of a UX, UI designer, just like we asked you guys? And then we actually have the videos that we showed you. So these are the 2 videos in the UI UX design module. We'll play these right through the deck. And the reason we wanted to put these in here is to actually, before we even get into the app, which comes here, is to show them the value that these episodes have, the educational value, how engaging they are, how motivating, inspiring, and fun these videos are. We've tested this content for years and it's gotten great marks. So we, we want to show them this content first before they open the app, right? And then it transitions into the app, how they get started, a scavenger hunt, which is a really cool way to have them explore the app in a targeted fashion, bring back their answers, and then you can call on them and see who has the answers. And then it gets into our season, which Angel will talk about in a little while. And then kind of ends on this question, what will your story be, right? There's discussion questions as well. And then if we go back to the educator's kit, the playbook PDF is essentially the lesson plan. The lesson plan, this PDF is pretty thorough. It's got the objectives on there, some preparation you can do, some technical needs that you might need to address before you start the lesson, some standards and alignment with career technical and vocational education. And then it goes into the lesson components, as you see the link to the survey over there. The lesson components, the different slides, it just breaks down what's in there. Some other ideas on implementing while supporting your teaching goals. A little bit about the community, which we'll get into in a little while. And then this is just, this might look like a lot, but like for those teachers who need, hey, just give me the manual on how to run it, and I could run it. This is that. So this is pretty much the class plan. We have talking points linked in here for each slide. So it's a little different way of approaching a lesson through this slide deck modality. So we want your feedback, right? Like, is this going to work? Here's the discussion questions here, which obviously are optional, but another way to engage your students, and some key app features if you need that. And then going back, we love to hear back from you. So this is a survey here, simple Google form. After implementing or piloting, even if you just do it once in that one class period, we really need that feedback, so we can improve on it, and we can hopefully show the evidence that this works and it can expand it over time, right? And then I'm going back into the slide deck here, bear with me. Hold on, Kelly. So just one more point on that. What we try to build is robust, right? There's a lot in there. And we feel like it's, a lot of time's been put into that, right? And we need you to try it. We need you to pilot it, try it, come back to us with feedback. And if you want more content, we can do that, right? We have 8 other careers, one we're working on with NOAA and marine science in the mix. So we'd love to have your ideas here. So I'm gonna kick it back to DJ Angeli, and
I saw a question in the chat that I think is important. It's like, oh, do I have to purchase these materials, or do I provide them for free? Well, I like to call it free 99 because this is for our young folks, and people love things for free, right? Because we truly do believe, but how do you do these things? Well, let me tell you something else that we're giving away for free for our young folks. So we have this whole idea of building a community. So you heard Tobia say earlier that this is phase 1 of our app, right? Phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, we have bigger visions for this thing where people are sponsoring kids. They're flying all across the countries, internships, scholarships, the whole 9, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really cool. So what we decided is like, well, we need people, these young folks need to have a vested interest. So let's build a community. So we're going to try to build this online community, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to go what we call our live season. So our season runs from March to June. So as you heard in the videos, once students go through the app, they complete the questions, they get a series of points, right? Those points are then entered. You have so many points, you qualify for certain prizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a live drawing of prizes. So we're talking about merch. You see my man wearing that Steam the Streets shirt right there. It's pretty fly. I don't have mine on, dirty laundry, you know what I'm saying? But we can buy them shirts, we got a link for that. If you go to our website, you'll see that. But kids love swag, right? Gift cards, right? Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Things I can actually buy for. A VR headset, we're giving away one of those. We're giving away a MacBook. We're giving away tools, right? Because we feel as though that if these young folks are doing what they need to be doing, they should be working towards something. And again, we can't give it away to everybody, but this idea of our live season, what gives students a more advantageous point, I should say, is when they join us on our lives. So once a month, we're going to be doing not a Facebook Live, but we'll be live streaming to our app, where we'll be bringing in guests. We'll be telling you stories. We'll be telling you kind of what's the new upcoming technology, what's the new booming industry. We'll bring in someone who's actually in the field to talk. We'll give you a little bit tidbits about the app and how you can continue to do so. So again, this is the students. All they have to do is sign up, create a profile, watch the videos, answer the questions, join the lives, and they are eligible for some really cool prizes, because we know young folks need to be incentivized in order to do do something. And we also need their feedback as well, right? So because we want to make this app bigger and better. And again, this is just our first iteration. So we'll be going live from March to June. So all you educators, get this thing into these young folks' hands right now so they have an opportunity to do so. And yes, it is free for young folks to get involved, right? So again, all they have to do is download the app, do some things, cool. So a couple other things that we have, because we understand time is of urgent, right? So right now we're also creating another thing for artists. So there's a contest that we're doing for digital artists to create pieces for our avatar, elements for our avatar. So then we can have more diverse representation in our characters. So we have a whole file for the students to download. They can create it, they upload it, and then have a chance to win a $50 Visa gift card just for creating art, right? So art that means something that they can, help to create. So you see the little avatars right there. And then last but not least, if you're just like, oh my God, these people's energy is just so amazing, I want them to come in and I want them to interact with our students, then yes, we can do that as well. You can book us for an assembly. The assembly is a whole hour show. We bring in the turntables. You saw the video, man, kids are excited. We're going through careers. It's a motivational, just like adrenaline shot of energy, as my man likes to call it, right? So you could hire us to do that. We have different packages as well, so feel free to reach out to us, but let's act right now. You know what I mean? Let us come to your school, put this art challenge in front of artists. Kids love doodling and drawing. Let's get the app into these young folks' hands, so not only can they learn about these different career modules that is happening, but also so they have a chance to actually win something, right? So there it is. That's how that business works. So again, you can act right now. Those are some of the ways that what's happening right now. So download the app, tell the students March to June, we're running that season up. We're going our live, I believe our first live is happening in 2 weeks. So
March 19th.
March 19th, our first live, we're going live. So from there, kids get extra points for attending the live as well. So, if you want to have a leg up on the competition, get your folks to download the app, do all that kind of good stuff. The avatar challenge, maybe think about bringing us into your school. There's a whole bunch of things, you know what I'm saying? So, that's how we kind of do things right now. So yeah, so act now. The time is of urgency. March to June, let's get on this. Not to be like this end all be all, but we've been developing this app and we want to get this, the traction going, and we've been doing it. And young folks, you tell them, hey, you want to learn about some cool things in a hip, cool, culturally relevant way, and you get a chance to earn some prize. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I'm signing up, and this is free. All I got to do is watch the videos, answer some questions, and be part of a community that's going to show me opportunities for me. I'm in it. You know what I mean? That's how I would feel, at least. So I don't know about these young folks. So get this in the hands of your folks, all right? So this is what we need you guys to do, okay? So we know it takes a village to do this work. Ben and I, again, we are so grateful for all the partners that we have, all the people who continue to show up, all the educators in the room who continue to do what you do for the young folks and the people that you educate. When we say educators, we mean anyone who is hipping somebody to some information, okay? This is not student, teacher, and that's why I like the word educator versus a teacher, right? Teachers teach, educate. We help to educate, inform, inspire. So what I want to know, and this is a dropping in the chat, right, is because impact, feedback is important. How could you implement this with your students while supporting your goals as an educator? Now, we know there's a lot of things going on in the classroom all the time, but after seeing what you saw here today, is there a way that you think you could implement this with your students while still meeting your goals? I still have to do my biography lesson, or I still have to do my geography lesson or my math lesson, but I want to sneak this in there. Is there a way that you could do so? I'm looking for some info. Drop in the chat. I'm interested in hearing some ideas.
Also, another way to ask that is, how does it fit into your current program or curriculum, and AKA how not to do much extra work? So how could it check off some of the boxes you need to check off, some of the standards you need to check off as an educator, the things you need to do anyway? We're not trying to add extra things to educators' plate because we know y'all are busy, right? So how could two things happen at the same time, right? So throw some things in the chat, some ideas you might have.
This is why we have some background music. All background music.
Okay, Sarah says, I can use the materials you provided. They're efficient, wouldn't slow me down, would speed me up because it is so pertinent to their lives. Nice. Kelly says, just make sure that you're not going to be observed the day you're introducing it and go for it. Oh, Kelly.
I like your style, Kelly.
Mm-hmm. How else? So here's some other ideas while you guys are thinking. So Kelly says the kids will love it, right? These are some ideas that you know, after talking with many educators over the past months, right? Sharing at open house, that's a good one. A lot of schools have advisory or tutorial periods, right? Sometimes this is empty time that people are looking to fill. So perhaps you introduce it, and then each advisory period could be like a new career module or challenge, because they generally take about 20 minutes to complete each challenge, right? The other one is, you know, Toby Eugenio talked about this. It could be homework, right? You could ask them to come in with their takeaways from a specific module, right? Talking about communication standards, you can have students journal about how the content in the app has changed their thinking. You can even have students interview each other, and that's verbal communication, and be able to, you know, interview each other about how it changed their thinking. What did they learn from it? We got some good things in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the idea of posters came up, which is kind of cool to think about that. That those imaging, also how to get an international job, and thinking about the relatability, the next steps once you get excited about a career path. And then I think, Christopher, you said some cool things about sharing it with a colleague who maybe isn't, you know, who is a STEAM educator, or someone who might use that, might help them take some initiative and make some connections with students. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will have posters soon.
Yep,
so
yep.
We see you, Mr. Gonzalez. We will have some posters for your classroom. So definitely get in touch so we can get you those. There's a couple other ideas on the slide. Provide extra credit, in-class discussions. You know, sometimes I remember being in the classroom and at the high school level, and sometimes I wanted to fill time and I needed things. So like, this is a way you can actually, hey, we got a lesson right for you where you can fill a block if you need to fill a block, right? STEM is international.
No, STEAM is international.
Get it right, Kelly. No.
Right. All right. We fighting up this uphill battle with STEM, man. Now it's STEAM, man. It's the arts. You know what I'm saying? Stop leaving us out, man. Stop leaving us out. It's all up. Man. Yeah, so I love what we have in the chat. Yeah, we'll keep it pushing.
I'm going to jump in and just say that what I love about the work that you're all doing in STEAM the Streets is that, you know, this is one of the first iterations, and it is ideas and comments and feedback from others, and just using the app. I mean, there are some parts that I can see myself going back to a video because I have the app on my phone and I can replay a part, right? So I can use it as a way to do some direct instruction with the students, and they also can use it to do on their own. And so that ability to kind of be flexible and meet the needs of my students in real time is pretty incredible as well.
Word. We love bomb educators like everyone in this room right now. I can just tell we got a room of bomb educators, you know, like you know.
Yeah, you know. You're here on a Monday afternoon, on a Monday night. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get this information from young folks, man. We know. We appreciate y'all, man. We really do.
So Kelly says I'm an English teacher. So what are some ways you can justify as an English teacher introducing this and the educators kit? And I think, Angel, from your perspective of stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stories in the slides and how we approach. There's a lot of storytelling that goes into this app and into the educators kit, and I think that's one angle.
No, I was just trying to save face because I said STEM instead of STEAM. No, I can
No,
think
we-
of a lot of I can think of a lot of ways to introduce it.
Word.
Kelly, do you want to
Which
share
I'll-
one of your favorite ones?
My favorite ones? No, because I don't want to hold everybody up, but I'm happy to email them to you all. No, I have lots of ideas to do it. I don't want to clog up everybody's time.
Thanks.
I like Kelly. Kelly, you're my type of people, man. You're like, yo, man, we got places to be, man. It's Monday night, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. But we do want to hear about it, all right? So make sure to email us.
No, I definitely will.
Word. Appreciate that.
All right, so we'll we're here for little ideas and discussion, then we'll wind down. So, we don't want to keep you here all night, but we do want to hear any other ideas. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question for some of the educators that are in the room, are you comfortable with clicking on that educator's kit and taking that into your classroom and implementing it? That'd be one direct question. Sarah says totally comfortable. It looks really thoughtfully crafted. Kelly says yes. All right, that's what I'm talking about. And we have that survey there, so we definitely want to hear how it actually plays out when you do implement it, right?
All right.
All right, so I guess we're wrapping up. Again, our season runs from March 19th through June, so get on it. And there's some urgency there, so we don't want your students left behind, right? To get some of these, not only the learnings, but some of the prizes they can win. Once again, we'd love to come to your school if that's something you want to do. If you say like, hey, I don't want to do this free do-it-yourself version and want you guys to present it, we have a package for that. We also have the big This Can Be You assembly, which Angel delivers in an accelerated rate. He's actually coming out here to get to the Bay Area to perform for Palo Alto High School next week. So we're excited about that. So yeah, the videos you saw today come with the educator's kit, but if you're interested, like I said, in having more videos screened for your class, we just need you to get some feedback back to us about how it worked. You fill out a survey and then we'll figure out a way to get more content for you to show to your students. Yeah. I want to shout out to you for being part of the change. You know what I mean?
For real. We know, man. We know this pandemic, what it has done to us, folks, our youth, our education system. We know that every single person in this room is playing a super valuable part, and we don't ever get thanked enough. We don't ever get paid enough. We don't ever get any of those, credits and whatnot. But from one to another, I want to thank y'all for real, because the work that you were doing is super, super important, and you may not see the value of it now, but I can speak from it firsthand. This man that you see me on the screen with, that man believed in me when I was a youngster. And now look at me, I get to do all these cool things in my life. You get what I'm saying? Because there was an educator who showed up for somebody. That educator showed up for me, and there's been multiple educators who showed up for me. Shout out to the people in the chat. You get what I'm saying? Thank you guys for being here and continue with those young folks as much as they aggravate our lives. This is the opportunity that they need. This is super important. So again, kudos to y'all for fighting a good fight. And let's get on this, man, and get this app downloaded with these young folks, man. Let's help bridge this gap. Let's help close this so we can put our people into communities, and our communities can have dope opportunities. You feel me? So leave us some feedback in the little chat right there. We dropped the little thing right there in the chat right there. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you guys for coming. This is all of our social media. Like us on there. Feel free to reach out to us on the website. Email us if you got any questions. Again, anything that we can do to help, help you to help the cause, let us know. We have, all type of access points, because again, somebody got to steam the streets $328 billion. I'm trying to get a piece of that. You feel me? I'm trying to get my kids to get a piece of that. So let's get it. Once again, we appreciate y'all so much for coming to rock with us next time.
Let's keep building. Thank y'all.
We do the peace sign on the way out. Thank you. Salutes.